If you're setting your tires to 32 psi, you might be underinflating your vehicle by 6 pounds and losing fuel economy every single day. Somewhere along the way, 32 pounds per square inch became the default answer. Gas stations suggest it, forums repeat it, even some tire shops casually say, just set it to 32. But tire pressure is not a universal setting. It's vehicle specific. It's load dependent. And it directly changes how your car drives. Grip, braking distance, fuel economy, steering precision, tire lifespan. All of it is affected by this one number. So today, we're killing the 32 psi myth properly. First, the biggest mistake people make. They look at the tire sidewall. They see something like max pressure, 44 psi, and they assume that's the correct pressure. It's not. That number is the maximum the tire can safely hold at maximum load. It is not your recommended setting. Think of it like your speedometer showing 140 miles per hour. Just because the car can go that fast doesn't mean it should. Your tire doesn't decide the pressure. Your vehicle does. So where is the real number? Open your driver's door. Look at the sticker on the door jamb. That sticker lists front tire pressure, rear tire pressure. Sometimes different values depending on load. That number was calculated using vehicle weight distribution, front to rear balance, suspension stiffness, spring rates, damping characteristics, braking system behavior, target ride comfort. Engineers test these vehicles extensively. They don't pick 32 because it sounds clean. They choose a pressure that optimizes contact patch shape, rolling resistance, heat management, stability at highway speeds. When you ignore that and default to 32, you're overriding engineering with a guess. Now let's talk about what actually changes when pressure is wrong. First, underinflation. If your SUV calls for 38 psi and you're running 32, that's a 6 psi deficit. That's not small. Underinflated tires flex more. More flex equals more internal heat. More heat accelerates rubber breakdown. It also makes the steering feel slower. Cornering becomes softer. The vehicle may feel slightly heavier to turn. And your braking distance can increase. Because the tread isn't sitting on the road the way it was designed to. Underinflation also increases rolling resistance. That means your engine works harder. That means worse fuel economy. And over thousands of miles. That adds up. Then there's wear. Underinflated tires wear more on the outer shoulders. You won't notice immediately. But after 10,000 or 20,000 miles, you'll see it. Premature edge wear. Uneven tread depth. Money gone. Now let's flip it. Overinflation. If your sedan calls for 32 psi and you're running 40, now the center of the tire carries more load. The contact patch narrows. Ride becomes harsher. Impacts feel sharper. On rough pavement, grip consistency can reduce. The center tread wears faster than the edges. Again, not instantly, but gradually, quietly. Wrong pressure rarely causes dramatic failure. It causes gradual inefficiency, and that's why people ignore it. Here's another area where people mess up. Hot pressure versus cold pressure. Tire pressure increases as temperature increases. Drive for 20 minutes, and your PSI can climb 3 to 5 pounds easily. That's normal. That does not mean your tires are overinflated. The recommended number on your door sticker is for cold tires. Cold means the car has been parked for several hours. Ideally overnight. If you check pressure after driving and it reads higher, leave it alone. If you bleed air from a hot tire to match the sticker, when it cools down, it will be underinflated. And you'll never know why the car feels slightly off the next morning. This mistake is extremely common. Now let's talk about modern vehicles. This is where the 32 psi myth really falls apart. Older compact sedans often lived around 30 to 32 pounds per square inch. But vehicles have changed. Cars are heavier. Wheels are larger. Sidewalls are shorter. SUVs dominate the road. Many crossovers today require 35, 36, 38, even 42 psi. Half-ton trucks can require significantly more. If you're driving a modern SUV and blindly running 32, you are likely underinflated. And because modern suspensions are refined, you might not even feel it immediately. That's what makes it dangerous. It feels fine until you check tread wear later, or wonder why your fuel economy dropped, or notice slightly vague steering at highway speeds. Small deviation, long-term consequences. Now let's be fair. Is 32 pounds per square inch always wrong? No. There are vehicles where 32 pounds per square inch is exactly correct. But here's the difference. It's correct because the manufacturer printed 32 on your door sticker, not because it became an internet default. Pressure is not about popularity. It's about specification. And specification beats opinion. Every time. So here's what you do starting today. Ignore the sidewall maximum number. Open your door. Find the recommended cold pressure. Check your tires in the morning. Set front and rear exactly as specified. Not close. Not about 32. Exact. Then recheck once a month. Tires naturally lose around 1 psi per month. Temperature changes affect pressure too. For every 10-degree drop in temperature, pressure can drop about 1 psi. So seasonal changes matter. This isn't overthinking. This is basic vehicle maintenance done properly. And here's the part most people don't realize. Tire pressure changes how your car feels. That tight, confident steering on the highway? Pressure influences it. That planted feeling in long curves? Pressure influences it. Even how stable the car feels during hard braking? Pressure matters. You wouldn't randomly change your brake pad compound. You wouldn't randomly change your suspension geometry. So why randomly choose your tire pressure? It's part of the system. And the system was engineered with intention. And if you think that's the biggest tire mistake drivers make, watch this next video, because what people believe about mixing different tires can cause far bigger problems than a few PSI ever will. I'll see you there.